What is happening, Dolphins fans, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I am your host, El Capi Maitan. I'm just trying to close the book on this Ravens game, something I don't want to think about. And just an absolute poor showing from the Dolphins, all in all, in there. I mean, dude, it's the worst beating we've taken since 2001, Week 17 against Buffalo. Second time we've gotten the doors blown off us this year, coming to Buffalo earlier in the year. So, yeah, what's up, Greg? What's up, everybody in chat? Hit the like button on your way in. So, I'm going to do this last episode. I'm not even going to do a film breakdown of this game because I don't even want to watch it again. I started watching it, getting prepared to do a film breakdown, and I just couldn't do it, bro. So many things got exposed about the Dolphins on defense that was just upsetting. It was upsetting to look at. They found the soft underbelly of where things could get exposed, and they did. And I worry about it because with the injuries we've gotten throughout the year, why wouldn't any team target guys like Eli Apple, like Duke Riley, dudes that are going to have to be out there. Now with Bradley Chubb going down, just bad, man, just bad. So I'm going to go into some notes and stuff like that just to try to, I don't know, man, just to try to close the book on this whole thing. It is concerning that, the Dolphins seem to have a hard time stopping these high-powered teams like the Ravens, like the, I don't know, man, like the Ravens, like, I hate to even say it, but like the Bills. They've lost now they've lost 4 and only won 1 against winning opponents all year. And the worst part about that is Dolphins are in that 5-game stretch, the Dolphins' high-powered offense is only averaging like 18.4 points per game. That is not good enough to win against the best teams in the NFL. And we need better, bro. We need better out of this offense, better out of this defense. I get that we were down Raheem Mostert. I get that we were down Jalen Waddle, but we're not getting Jalen Waddle back for the Bills game. And with injuries that we've got now on defense, it's not like we're getting any healthier. Every team is banged up right now. We've got to do better, dude. We've got to do better than this. We've got to, this is what playoff football is about. Staying healthy, which, guys are going to get injured. But just enduring it. And, to me and to everybody, this Dolphins-Ravens big Titans matchup, was supposed to be a statement game. And it ultimately became a statement game. The statement being, are the Dolphins for real or not? Because getting beat like that against the Ravens, listen, it's not losing, but losing 56-19. Lamar had his greatest game. Baltimore racked up almost 500 yards of offense. Jackson went 18 for 21 for 321 yards and 5 touchdowns. They ran for 162 yards on us. We're a stingy run defense. We've been good at these were the things I was hoping that we were going to lean on in this game. They exposed us in ways. Duke Riley got exposed. He let Jackson find Justice Hill for that wheel route for 20-yard gain, and he just went back to it again, and that's when he got a touchdown. Jackson also just cut our throat with Zay Flowers, who ended up splitting between Eli Apple, trailing in coverage. It looked like there was some miscommunication with Javon Holland. And, Duke Riley was underneath, and Zay Flowers took it for freaking 35 yards on a one-hand grab. Or no, he took it 75 yards down the open field. The one-hand grab was by their tight end Likely. He only had 2 catches, and both of them went for touchdowns. One of them was a one-handed grab, which was a good catch by him, and the other one was a walk-in score. By that time, it was 35-13 when we blinked our eye. It's just hard to not feel very good when the defense had no answers. And I'm going to go into position by position of just, we're banged up, bro. We're banged up. And we got the Bills coming to Miami. Dolphins are going to have to come up and defend the home turf like they never have before. We got to show up and show out because, yeah, we're in the playoffs, but are we just going to limp into the playoffs? Are we just going to get in there and be a first-round exit and be same old Dolphin playoff football? I don't know, man. People now, they're talking about Mike McDaniel. A lot of questioning going on about Fangio. A lot of questioning going on about this team and whether or not they're real. And, I don't know. Has injuries mounted? Yes. It's a bad thing. I mean, even Tua's a little banged up and sore in his shoulder from a slide. They took him out. He probably could have still played, but what was the point? But on the same token, if that was the logic, why'd they keep the defense in on that final drive? For the final 8 minutes of the fourth, whenever it was. That's when Bradley Chubb got hurt. Who's out with an ACL? We won't get him back till next year. We're down 2 guys now. Now we're going to be leaning on, Andrew Van Ginkel, which thank God we have Andrew Van Ginkel. At least we got somebody there. Emmanuel Ogbah, who has 5.5 sacks on limited snaps this year. So at least, we have that kind of going for us. Melvin Ingram and Cameron Good, who in limited role has at least been semi-effective. It's not like it's a massive drop-off to the guy. So at least as far as our pass rushers go, we have, I don't want to say great guys, but we have competent guys. Andrew Van Ginkel, to me, is great. I love Andrew Van Ginkel. But now, further and further, things get thinner as far as in position groups. I mean, there is kind of a silver lining in some way. I know Duke Riley has played terrible, but Jerome Baker is available to come off the IR list. Whether or not they'll activate him for this game or not, I don't know. I'm hoping he makes it at least for the playoffs. Him and Jalen Waddle come back in the playoffs, I'll feel a heck of a lot better. But I hate that they're going to come back and be playing playoff football, which the Dolphins found out what playoff football was on Sunday. That Ravens team playing the way they played, fierce, hard, all that stuff, that is playoff football. This is what we can come to expect now. This is the type of just hard-nosed, grind it out, win the trenches, big plays, all that stuff, man. There's no mercy. No mercy. None. So, I'm going to go through the position groups here real quick. Shout out to everybody in chat. Hit the like button, please, everyone. Tua, quarterback, had his worst quarterback rating of the entire season against the Ravens. He had a 71.9 passer rating. That's his worst. He did come out of the day with 4,451 passing yards, which is pretty nice, I guess. He is still leading the league in passing yards. He's 171 yards away from Brock Purdy, who's in second. So if Tua has just a regular 200-something yard gain, he's gonna have the best passing yards he's ever had. It's great. I like these accolades. That's cool. But I want to win. I want Tua to win. We need Tua to win and elevate some guys sometimes. That would be nice. Going through the running back room, as you guys know, we had Raheem Mostert was out of this game. He is set to return coming against the Bills, albeit unless there's a setback. That's not cool. I'll be upset if there's a setback with the guy, even though I have full faith in Devon Achane. I mean, Devon Achane's been great. He was the only bright spot in the entirety of the offense on Sunday against the Ravens. He had a ton of yards. I want to say he had 100 and what do you have? He had 107 yards on the ground, averaged 7.6 yards per carry. I mean, he did great. So he's averaging 8 yards per rush on 93 attempts this year. So, I mean, he's just doing a great job. Very grateful to have him on this team. The running backs weren't the problem. It was just once you got down so far and you have to play catch up, you really kind of, teams aren't afraid to let us run on them, which is kind of, I don't want to say it's befuddling. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just, dang, dude, they're just going to let people run on you because they know that they're going to be able to score on you. So, Dolphins got to do better in the red zone, man. The wide receiver position, Jalen Waddle, probably not going to play against the Bills. Cedric Wilson did okay in his filling for Jalen Waddle. Braxton Berrios did all right. Craycraft, Chosen Anderson, Chase Claypool. I mean, I really wish Claypool would have caught that ball. If Claypool would have caught that ball, if Tyreek Hill would have caught that ball, we could be talking about a different scenario. At least, even if it's not a victory, we had something respectable. They left, they got field goals on both those drives, but they left 8 points on the game. And then that 2-point conversion that we should have had too, there goes 10. 10 more points, and the Dolphins could be in a better situation. Durham Smythe is still doing pretty good. He had 52 yards on 3 catches. He's doing really good. I'd hope that we were going to see him more involved in the passing game. A lot of those seam routes and, waiting for the in-breaking route and clear out so the safety has to come up all the way and pick up, because their linebackers drop into coverage a lot. That guy Queen was all over the place, but that you can use that to your advantage too. But just too little too late, man. Too little too late with this team. Offensive line, we saw Liam Eichenberg get banged up. He should be all right. Thank goodness they did have to play the other guy a little bit there, Harrison, who they signed, but Armstead did great. That's at least good. He was the highest ranked Dolphins offensive member on PFF. Jackson let up a sack though, and so did Eichenberg against the Ravens. Zach Sealer had that strip for that fumble. That was great, but Tua gave the ball right back on an interception. That sucked. But didn't really get the penetration from this D-line. Didn't get the run defense we expect. Didn't get the pass rush we've come to expect around here. Again, Duke Riley was exposed all over the field. Let's just hope and pray that they figure out a way to better scheme up protection to not have Duke Riley getting on these rub routes out of position and just getting torched. We got to do better. Got to do better. Got to do better, man. Bonehead plays by coach. I see it, guys. I know. A lot of bonehead plays by coach. Javon Holland at the safety group, he was rusty, to say the least. Looked very unsure of himself. I guess we should have anticipated that a little bit better because he, looking at how Tyreek Hill was super rusty the week before against Dallas. But, just a tough situation. Now, another thing, it's terrible news for the Dolphins. Xavier Howard's toe injury, his foot/toe injury, he ain't going to play against the Bills. It is very unlikely he plays against the Bills. That means we are going to lean on guys like Eli Apple and Cater Kohu. So the Dolphins initially, when X went out, they put Cater Kohu on the boundary. But when they went and brought an extra DB in there, they put Eli on the boundary and put Cater back in the slot. Well, every time Eli was out there, they were targeting, they were going right for him, especially if they can get him chasing across the field. If he's having to chase left and right, he was getting exposed. So that worries me. That Xavier Howard having a down year, admittedly. Eli Apple is far worse. And I get it, To me, I would say the move is put Cater on the boundary and bring Nick Needham and have him play the slot. I'm so much more comfortable in that scenario because if they switch out of that scenario, Cater or Needham can then move to the ipso facto third linebacker back there where Cater can stay on the boundary. I get it. We've seen Cater get exposed on a boundary, but I'd rather have him. And then if things don't work, then we can try, putting Eli back out there. I don't want Eli Apple getting torched on the outside or running against crossers. I can't take it, bro. I can't take it. I know fans are clamoring for Cam Smith, but Cam Smith is a rookie, and they ain't played him all year. I certainly don't want his first game is to be the last game of the year against Buffalo in with the starters. That is just not a recipe for success. You could ruin that kid. I think the Dolphins, that's kind of their deal. They don't want to ruin their DB and have another Noah Igbenogany on their hands. So I agree that, if you're going to put Cater in his best position, it's in the slot. But I think you're better served if you have Needham in the slot and put Cater on the boundary. At least in a one-game sample size, you'll hopefully get Xavier Howard back for the playoffs. In a one-game sample size, that's the way to go. And that's just how I feel. So, yeah, man. I mean, we still got Ramsey. Thank God we got somebody out there, but we got to do something. This team is banged up. This team is in a tough situation. And the Ravens did things to this defense that essentially said, if you go at the Dolphins in these ways and beat them in their one-on-one matchups, you can have success. And it's a copycat league. I promise you the Bills are watching, saying, hey, scheme up our running backs out of the passing game on Duke Riley. Scheme up our tight ends. Scheme up our, number 2 wide receiver on Eli Apple. We just need a far and away better game plan this week coming up against the Bills. We can't have this. Tua Tagovailoa, I'm looking to him and Mike McDaniel to really figure a way. The defense has put pressure on teams a couple times this year. The offense has put pressure on teams a couple times, especially early in the season. I need that offense, that game planning, that explosiveness that's going to put pressure on teams again. Do the right thing. That's how it has to happen. That's how it has to happen. That's what we need. Plain and simple. So, I appreciate everybody coming in here and chat. Again, I was just going to do a quick little video. I was going to break down the film, do an edit. I just can't. Instead, I'm going to look ahead to the Bills. I'm going to break down some Bills film and look at these last 2 weeks that they had against, the Patriots and the Chargers. Yeah, they beat those teams, but it wasn't like their greatest performances. And I got to look at what the Dolphins can do with the guys they have left on both sides of the ball and see how we can win this game. So, no, the thing about the Bills with Josh Allen, they have explosiveness. They do. I'm happy that this game's played in Miami, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to see they're fighting for their lives. Dolphins know they're in the playoffs. Are they going to fight for their lives? You know, heading into this week, it's the same urgency that I'm putting into this week. I'm doubling down against the Bills because we didn't win against the Ravens. But the narrative is going to be the same too, in that this is a statement game. This is a statement game for the Dolphins. The Ravens was a statement game, and the statement is the Dolphins can't beat the likes of people like the Ravens. The Dolphins are banged up. The Dolphins offense got exposed by the Ravens defense. The Dolphins defense got exposed by the Ravens offense. The special teams even made some blunders as well. The Dolphins just got whipped. What narrative are the Dolphins going to write this Sunday? What narrative? What statement is going to be left at the end of Week 18? When the Dolphins go against the Bills in primetime Sunday night, flexed out. Dolphins need to get used to playing in primetime. Need to get used to these bright lights. Need to get used to the aggressiveness of postseason football. We got our first taste of it. Well, we had a sip, a little sippy cup against the Cowboys. Got lucky that it's a game at home. Could have gone the same score, but on the other end for the Dolphins if it was in Dallas. Won that game. Proud of this team for winning that game. Jacked up. Not proud of the performance they followed it up with in Baltimore. If you want to be a team that wins, then you need to start winning now. You need to beat the Bills this week and do yourself a favor by maintaining home field advantage so you don't have to travel. It's plain and simple. It's plain and simple. So, guys, let me know in the comment section at the end of the video. First off, everybody hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I see you guys coming in all the time. Got a bunch of new subscribers lately. Appreciate all you guys. Share this video. And at the end of the video, in the comment sections, tell me what is going to be the narrative. What is going to be the statement that the Miami Dolphins make against the Buffalo Bills in Week 18? Is it going to be, hey, we are a team that can endure a bad loss and bounce back and get our heads right, win our division, and become the number 2 seed, worry about teams like the Ravens later down because we're going to handle our business in the playoffs? Or is the statement going to be, oh, we're feeling sorry for ourselves. We ain't got enough. We're gonna lay down and get beat by the Bills in our house and drop to the 6th seed and go to KC and hopefully we figured out then and have to travel throughout the playoffs. Let me know in the comment section at the end of the video. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Fins up, everyone.